And we're back, guys. Thanks for tuning in if you're just tuning in now, or thanks for rejoining if you're watching the second part of this stream. So it's our casual quarantine leveling stream. Kind of rhymes, but it's like a half rhyme, I guess. So what we're doing is leveling this hunter, currently through Hellfire Peninsula. We might only make it through one zone of Outland before we move on to Northrend, to be honest with you. Entirely dependent on circumstance. But we shall see. Just adjusting my camera. Yeah, we good. Okay, let's go. Got to kill some Terra Fiends now. So those are the big green guys that aren't Shrek. Because Shrek kind of thick.
I do not have a target.
I was wondering what happened there. My game temporarily froze. I was just making sure my stream didn't die off.
I need to target something first. I must get closer. I do not have a target. I require a target. I do not have a target. I require a target.
Can you imagine if slimes were skinnable? I mean... Imagine. Rotting slime, skinnable. What did you get? I got slime. Are we going to be one of those DIY YouTube channels? Like, is this where they get their slime? Do they come here? I just created a conspiracy theory in my own head. But, you know... Please ignore me. Self-isolation is going to drive everyone slowly crazy. I think I'm just ahead of the curve on others because I was already a little bit crazy anyway, so... Is that an alliance? Oh, God, we got an alliance paladin here. Probably going to try and cause some trouble. You want to go, mate? You want to go? 1v1 me,
Too
mate.
far away. I need to target something first. I do not have a target. I require a target. I need to target something first. I require a target.
Definitely need to invest in a better chair, and but the
do
thing
not
is, we
have a
got
target.
priorities. A lot of the stuff we need to pay for first. I suppose we could low-key be cheeky and kill this paladin.
I need to target something first.
We'll probably just bubble, though. Keep forgetting there's a massive skeleton of a pit lord here. Agonar's huge. I'm keeping my eye out for that paladin because I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of him, and I feel like he's watching us. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Story of my life.
I do not have a target. Something first.
I keep forgetting we've got some decent mail stuff from just. Gotta say, when I did play during Wrath, I think I collected these on a shaman actually. I'm sure I did. I mean, the longbow, I definitely picked it up on a plate wearer. Hello, Clarice. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a shaman that this was all collected on. You know, if I wore this, he wouldn't even... Oh, he would just be able to see. That's a point. Aren't there some PvP sets you can buy with gold that are really nice? From the Wrath era? I mean, not that, but... Let's have a look. I'm curious. Yeah, the helms weren't great, but... I know there's a few decent transmog things here. I like these. They're Blackrock Foundry drops. I don't like this one. I don't like this. I like these. Just want to have a look at the era here, because there's some decent ones, I remember. Yeah, those are the ones I'm talking about. But these... I remember now. I think the first time I ever saw a hunter and thought that's something I'll consider is I saw them in this, the full tier with the gas mask, and I thought that's really, really cool. I suppose if you were playing a hunter that was based in Outland, it would be cool and it would make sense, but or maybe a Forsaken. But you know, I remember thinking that. I remember distinctly.
Anu Belore Delana.
Speak, friend. Go forth to victory.
I'll take this one. Right, so. What I'm going to do as well is, while we're questing, queue for some more instances, so I'm thinking we do Blood Furnace next. I don't want to do any of the Wrath content until we get to Wrath level. I want to, rather than skip content where possible, I want to do content that I didn't do. Or I haven't done for a long time. I'm leveling a new character, it's a perfect opportunity to do that. So we'll go find... It's Krun Spinebreaker we've got to go find. I remember thinking this was like epic at the time. This is Hellfire Citadel, and I mean we saw in WoD what could have been for this if this Outland had released later. I'd love to see them revisit Outland for some context. I don't know how they'd revisit, but then maybe do some kind of revamp with Outland. Don't change the dimensions of the place. I like how big and vast this is, but I'd love to see them revamp the Outland for some reason. Like, give us current Outland. Like, what's happening now? I mean, Sargeras is imprisoned. Illidan's the jailer of Sargeras. What does that mean for the rest of Outland? With what's happening with Ajara and stuff, it would be interesting to see what's happened to Outland since the Burning Crusade. That must be Krun. No, it's... yeah.
My inventory is full.
Yeah, they won't touch out. I mean, that's a fair point. They probably won't touch Outland again because Legion. But however, I remember what they said with regards to that is that there is a possibility that there'll be some revisiting, not to Outland but to Legion content, especially with what they said about. If you remember the red star in the sky that appeared after the defeat of Sargeras at Antorus the Burning Throne. They said if that star goes out, then we've got something to worry about. So that could be a return to Legion content. But whether they do something with Outland... I mean, they had Outland in a cinematic recently, which is interesting. I never thought we'd see Outland in a cinematic again. And then when Saurfang, in the war campaign, spoilers, went to go find Thrall, he found... You know, that's where he found him, in the Outland Nagrand. He didn't go to alternative Nagrand, even though that was uncorrupted. He went to his home. He went to this one. So it'd be nice to maybe see Outland in some way again. I mean, we saw it in a cinematic, so there's potential, but I don't want them to... They'd have to do something really significant with Outland. I mean... Sargeras is imprisoned. So, what would happen? Like, do we have any lore context for the aftermath of Outland? That would be interesting. Like, who's still here? What's still happening? There's Maghar orcs still living in the uncorrupted Nagrand here. Thrall went to live there. Has Thrall done anything else out in Nagrand since then? Has anything else happened in the Outland? I mean, I'm not necessarily saying we have to come back here for an expansion. I'd just like to see some updated or expanded lore on what's happening in Outland now. With regards to what they can do, I'm not sure, but it will be. I think it will be interesting to see. Maybe having the Draenei reclaim after we cleared out Tempest Keep and stuff, have them reclaim the ships and take them somewhere else or something like that. Maybe have the Void Elves take up residence in Netherstorm or something.
I've been expecting you.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff they could do, just to give a bit of flavour to zones that are not forgotten necessarily, but places where we don't know what's been happening for a long time. Be nice to have a few little lore updates, some little tidbits. Like, what's happening... I mean, we know what happened at the Black Temple leading up to the imprisonment of Illidan. What's there now? Because Illidan isn't there. The Illidari's still there. Things like that. Just maybe even if they just mention Outland in a book or some expanded content, just so we get some context. The Black Temple was incredible. The Black Temple was so much fun. My favourite raid of all time, and I'm biased, is Ice Crown Citadel. Mainly because I just love the aesthetic and the lore, but Black Temple was so much fun. Black Temple was amazing. I'd love to go back to Black Temple just to see. Just to see what's happening now. Like, the Illidari could have it as their base of operations. I think a good thing they could do with Black Temple, because it's still around and it still exists, is that they could have it where the Illidari, rather than being on Mardoon, maybe they go back to the Black Temple and they start their Illidari training, and maybe they train more Demon Hunters just in case Sargeras breaks free, because they have said that they may that's why they didn't kill him, because they may want to bring it back eventually. Gotta find this wolf totem. So, I mean, rather than like, oh wow, what? So we've got Warcraft Legion 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'm talking like, we could have some kind of Sargeras. What's happened to him? Where is? Are we like if he does break out of prison, or that light goes out? A guy called Pyromancer, who I follow on YouTube, he's very much a lore buff, and that's why I enjoy his content. Says that there has been a dev interview which says that if something happens to that red star in the sky, we should all be worried. That's not good news. So the fact a dev has said that, I mean, they could be throwing us off, but that could be something they revisit. Now, obviously we know Illidan's up there with him. So if the seat of the Pantheon, if Sargeras was changed in some way, what the Illidari may need reinforcements. I'd love to be able to play. I mean, I like the Demon Hunters. I love Demon Hunters, like lore-wise. I just think there are other races that could theoretically learn the Demon Hunter trait. So I'd love to see Orc Demon Hunters and Draenei Demon Hunters. I mean, from a lore standpoint, they both hate the Burning Legion and hate demons, so it would make perfect sense. I mean, you could even, in terms of Draenei customization for a Demon Hunter, you could give them those corrupted Eridar skins from Legion, the red ones, like, have them. So a Draenei corrupted with demonic power, but using it against the demons, because there's still demons out there. Demons still exist. They just permadie now, or they don't resurrect as quickly or something. Because obviously we defeated Argus the Unmaker, which was and Antorus was the engine for the Burning Legion to basically just have an infinite number of respawns, which is kind of like broken. But also, there are other Legion characters still out there. So Mal'Ganis is still out there. There's one of the other Dreadlords, I'm sure they're still out there. There's a few Burning Legion characters that have not been dealt with. Oh, this quest, yeah, I've got to go to... how this quest goes for me, yeah. So I'm a Mag'har going to meet the Mag'har. Hi, Lord Arbiter. You all good, man? Let's see. So these are the Mag'har. So I want to see. So this is... Even our best tracking wolves. The spirits have always seen... I'll find the vehicle. Find person to see. They'll be trying to... Varamathras. We dealt with him in Antorus, so let me have a look at the dungeon journal for Varamathras while we're doing this. If I open raids, Legion, Burning Throne. Yeah, Varamathras is here. So he wasn't in great shape. So he's kind of gone crazy. He's been tortured, and he's got no eyes, and so he still exists in the lore, but I think because we kill him in Antorus, I imagine he's permadead now. But also we got some interesting Nathrazim lore going into Shadowlands, which is that the Helm of Domination was crafted in the Shadowlands. So that's interesting. So we saw that was one of the Q&As. So we know that the Helm of Domination and Frostmourne, while being labelled as Nathrazim weapons, they were crafted in the Shadowlands in the forge at Torghast. So that's some more Nathrazim lore. So that makes me wonder: are we going to see more of the Nathrazim? It makes me wonder what could be in store for. Like, is there going to be some more Nathrazim stuff happening? Only because you are lucky to be alive. Okay, well, why are you booing me? I'm you. Like, you're lucky to be alive, guy who's like us. Who are you to walk in here unannounced? I ordered my men to stay at hand on because Rigger sent the spirits. I want to see if they obviously they're not going to rectify the quest. Speak freely but choose your words wisely. We rarely trust strangers this close to the Citadel. The thing is, I'm not a corrupted orc. I'm an uncorrupted orc. I am one of his people, theoretically. Yeah, maybe from the alternate universe, but it's a little weird. Like, I'd love if they'd change the quest. Going like, that's impossible. Like, they could have gone, who are you? Where have you come from? That's impossible. We thought we knew. Blah, blah, blah. That'd have been cool. Yeah, exactly. They just go, you? We don't know you, but hi, welcome. I imagine that realistically, from a lore standpoint, they'd probably be kind of pleased to see more uncorrupted orcs, especially given that they're on their destroyed home planet. Like, this is what the Legion and the corrupted orcs did together to the place. It would be really cool for them to then acknowledge, go, hey, this guy's not evil. And Lord Wilson, when I read your comment, you walk in and they just go, brother, and I read that in Hulk Hogan's voice. I literally read that in Hulk Hogan's voice. And to be fair, Hulk Hogan could voice an orc, and I wouldn't pass it up. That'd be great. That was a weird tangent, but it's like, let me tell you something about demonic corruption, brother. It's nice. What I do like is that, of course. You're doing Culling of Stratholme, I imagine. Yeah. Because Mal'Ganis just appeared in front of you. Yeah, Mal'Ganis is still out there. He appeared at the Battle for the Broken Shore as one of the demons stood behind Gul'dan. But we don't know where he is or what he's doing. He's still out there. I mean, of course he is. He was probably the smartest of the Dreadlords. Maybe we'll see something to do with Mal'Ganis in Shadowlands, especially given that they've added to the lore there. It's not a retcon as such, because we don't really know. We know it was Nathrazim origin, Frostmourne, and the Helm of Domination. But they were actually forged in the Shadowlands, and obviously that means that the Nathrazim would have known about the Shadowlands, which there's nothing to say they didn't. And also, but given that context, does that mean we might see Mal'Ganis? That would be interesting if we did see Mal'Ganis in Shadowlands somewhere. Probably gloating, oh, this is all just as I planned, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you didn't. You're just saying that as you go along because you want to look intelligent, Mal'Ganis. But I do like Mal'Ganis as a character. I think he's fascinating, like in terms of the Dreadlords in general, the Nathrazim. They're really good. And the thing is, I want to know what happened with regards to the rest of the demonic races within the Burning Legion. Because they still exist. Like, defeating Argus didn't mean that they all just dropped dead. So, what are they doing? Where are they? you know, there's a lot here to unpack realistically. Oh yeah, Mephistopheles, I forgot that guy. We dealt with him. But again, this was before we stopped him at Antorus, so theoretically speaking, maybe he's also still out there, Mephistopheles, because we didn't kill him in the Twisting Nether, we killed him on Azeroth. So, the Nathrazim are still out there. We know that there's some lore being added to what some flavour added to what the Nathrazim did in Shadowlands. What does that mean going forward? Are we going to see more of them? Do you think? I'd love to see just a little bit, something to do with the Nathrazim. Just
Speak, friend. Be safe.
hang on. Got Bone Splinter, who's Blood DK. This one's called Trap DK. Why is he? Okay, never mind. I'm asking too many questions. There's a Death Knight who's literally just wearing a pair of golden pants, going for the Flash Gordon. Well, he had silver pants, but you know.
I do not have a target.
Slave or I guess he is, but
closer.
I'm sure there's some like plate. You could have used the plate leggings from Wrath, where there's actual like leather kind of straps around them and sort of chain links, which look a lot more aesthetically like that, I suppose. But I think he's going for that wrestler look, to be honest. It looks like he's wearing a pair of gold tights and nothing else. Oh, we're rounding the whole room up.
I require a target. I need to target something first.
I keep forgetting, like, once you get a decent enough DPS group, how quick the trash mobs die.
I require a target.
But the
I do
tank,
not have a target.
either the healer is not doing his job, or the tank is not using his mitigation. Like, use Bone Shield as your friend, buddy. Oh, we got Bone Shield up, good. Big group pulls. Yeah, they have all been buffed. Yeah. So somebody, when we were doing Serpent Shrine Cavern, yeah, on this character the other day. Someone's going, why is everything taking so long to kill? He hadn't played since Mr. Pandaria, and it's like, yeah, they all got buffed. Yeah, it's true. DK tanks don't know how to play because they're fresh. Sometimes, I would say, some people jump in and go, oh, I can get a boosted level character, a Death Knight, cool, and then jump in as a tank. My first tank was Paladin. I've tried Blood DK. It's fun, but I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on self-heals. I mean, that's great for self-reliance, so Blood DK and PvP was fun. But I didn't enjoy, sometimes I didn't enjoy the tanking side of it, because sometimes you make one mistake as a Blood DK and it's hard to recover, whereas if you've got a prot warrior, then you've got a bit more mitigation. And also, I just feel like the Blood DK is fun, but the playstyle didn't suit me. Although I like the lore behind it, because that's based around. So you've got the Frost DK, which is kind of like you've got the kind of the Frost DK, which is like the glass cannon, White Walker style. And then you've got the Unholy, so the Necromancer. And then you've got the Blood DK. DK, which is like blood magic, vampire, sort of vampiric stuff, which I like.
Require a target.
Healing a demon hunter? No, I have to say I've never healed. So I made a healer and tried it because I had a druid that I got to kind of. I think I got one of my free level boosts. I made a Tauren druid.
I need to target something first.
Years ago, probably Warlords of Draenor era.
Perhaps I can find a use for it.
And it's I didn't enjoy healing. I didn't enjoy Resto Druid. I just didn't enjoy healing at all. I found it entirely frustrating. Mainly because I don't like stupid people, so the fact I have to idiot-proof even more than when I'm tanking was a nightmare.
Stay away from me.
Heal over time, yeah. Nah, I don't like heal over time as an idea either, because I feel it much easier to manage direct healing, so something like Priest and Paladin, where you cast spells that heal the target for X amount, whereas X amount over 10 seconds, yeah, sure, it staggers damage, but...
I do not have a target.
Yeah, the Holy Priest has a lot of oh shit buttons. The Holy Paladin also has like lay on hands, oh shit button, bubble. And I think a good class needs at least one oh shit button. Well, you have a few. I suppose Druids, you've got combat res. But then that requires the target to die.
Target something first.
It's like even DPS specs I say have oh shit buttons. I have misdirection, disengage, and feign death on a hunter.
I am out of range.
And I'm relatively clueless about hunters, but I'm learning the class. The thing is,
I require a target. I do not have a target.
I think that
I need to target something first.
you've got to sort of manage. I think all classes need some utility, but not all classes should have all utility. Your class needs, like, there's a whole bring the player, not the class philosophy, I guess, but then I prefer, why don't you bring both? Bring the player and the class. So maybe you do need a hunter or a rogue in your raid, you know. I remember in Lich King, Wrath, my raid group, when we were raiding Cutting Edge when Ice Crown was current, we always had a rogue with us to disengage those traps that awaken the giants, because the rogue could disengage the traps, and we always had a hunter to set traps to slow some of the Nerubian mobs and stuff like that. And we brought a mage specifically because, you know, we needed the utility for things. We brought a mage for like the mage tables. Yeah, crowd control was a massive thing.
I do not have a target.
How is everybody dead?
I require a target.
How is everybody dead other than me and the druid? Yeah, shamans having hexes, and like mandatory things that classes should be able to do.
Wretched, meddling insects. Release me, and perhaps I will grant you a merciful death. I won't forget this.
Yeah, Shackle Undead. You'd also got Control Undead as of Death Knight, which was good. You could enslave an undead. So you could say what I used to do as well is with Control Undead, I used to tend to target the skeletal mages in ICC. I liked having one of those.
I do not have a target.
And also there was the Paladin Turn Evil one, I think it was, which would reduce the damage from undead or stop. I can't remember, something like that. I remember the Paladin had that Turn Evil, which was to do with undead.
I require a target. I need to target something first.
Multi-shot. I do so enjoy multi-shot. Oh, level up.
I require a target.
67.
I need to target something first. I do not have a target. I require a target. I do not have a target.
I don't have a target, but it's not letting me. It's not letting me click. I'm having a glitch here. Okay, I need to target something. Yeah, I know, but I can't target anything. I was having my game was having a moment. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I'm having good fun with this hunter though. It's not something I'm used to playing, so we'll see what it looks good. But I would love to be able to have a character that I enjoy PvP on as well. So rather than melee, I think playing hunter in PvP might be a bit fun. I know they're annoying to deal with in PvP, but I imagine playing one is great. Oh, there's a gun here. Drago's got a gun. Ooh. Ooh.
I require a target. I need to target something first.
I'm gonna have I prefer a bow and arrow anyway, but this is still
I do not have a target.
I'm looking forward to getting to the end of the Legion content because there's a transmog I'm gonna collect by then.
I need to target something first. I require a target.
So the transmog that I want is this one for endgame. But I need to go do Legion content for these bits.
I do not have a target.
Yeah, I'm going for the whole Frostwolf hunter style transmog at the end. So, but I know that those shoulders are from the class hall quests, the unseen path stuff. Which is fine because we can do that in Legion anyway. I need to work out which quest it is, so I'll be having to research how far into it I'm going to have to go. Oh, you got the full winged priest set. That's cool.
I need to target something first.
I like that set. I also like the dark set. You know, the sort of the darker coloured version, which was clearly for shadow priests. They did some really nice caster sets, especially back in the sort of, I don't know, my favourite caster sets I think were there's the Warlock one that you see a lot of. I think I want to say Ulduar. I can't remember, the one that looks like a Plague Doctor style, but kind of like Crow. The one that, if you've seen the Wrathgate cinematic, the one that that guy's got there. Can't remember his name. Putris, that's it.
Go forth.
Can't remember where you get that. There was that one. I also like the Warlock set that's black and red from Burning Crusade with the spiky shoulders. And it was that one was nice. And I think that there was there was a few really good sets. Like there was a hunter set as well, which was the one that I like. This shaman set, the one that they came from, and the hunter set I'm looking for. That one. It was the Tireless Tracker. There was some really good Burning Crusade and Wrath here, like the Wrath Ice Crown Citadel Shaman set, the blue one, which had. Where's the helmet? Do I have the helmet? I don't think I do. That one. That entire set was really cool. Oh, the Cyclops Hunter set from Siege of Orgrimmar. Yeah, that was a really weird. I mean, it was Titan themed. I get it, but it was so weird to look at. I love this set as well for hunters, like the one with this, especially in green. Yeah, from Ulduar. That one. I mean, the hunter is cool, the Cyclops set, but I was like, what am I looking at here? There's a lot of stuff I've wanted that never dropped, like, it's hard to collect some of the older sets because the drop rate's lower, but at the same time it means that when you do finally get that piece you want, it's worth it. And I'm not against running old content for the sake of getting some cool ass drops, but on my other priest I have a Warglaive and I'm so pissed about it. Yeah, one thing that's really bugged me about transmog, and the legendary transmog is a great feature. However, it's that demon hunters can transmog the Warglaives of Azeroth from the Time Walking Black Temple, but Death Knights can't get a transmog Frostmourne.
You fools! He'll kill us all!
You get Shadowmourne, which is good, but at the same time, I think that if you're going to give the Warglaives of Azeroth to all demon hunters as a transmog, why can't Death Knights have Frostmourne?
What is this? What have you done?
If you,
You'll ruin
if they, and obviously, given if you could during the time you did the content, you could get Corrupted Ashbringer, and they haven't taken. Oh God, the ground's disappearing. But it's no, it's really strange. I mean, the logic I get, but also, why is it like that one legendary weapon, like the Warglaive, you can have, but you can't have Frostmourne as a Death Knight, but you can have the Warglaives of Azeroth. I think that will change. It's like if you were a staff wielder at the time and you collected the Atish model, you can still use that. Or Atish, or Atish, however you pronounce it. The one Medivh staff. My inventory is full. Oh, you can't equip it, can you? Because you're because you can't. Yeah. I think if you've collected an item, you should be allowed to then, regardless of the class you collected it on, you should be able to, use it.
What do you mean?
So you have the item. So why can't you have collected the appearance in effect, but you have to be able to equip it. but that's what irks me because I play a hunt. I've never really played a hunter, but what I don't understand is how on this hunter, and I remember I got this on one of my melee DPS. If I go to my bows, this dropped from Ice Crown, my favourite bow in the game, and I can equip this on my hunter for transmog. But why? Well, yeah, melee could use bows, I suppose. Yeah, it still doesn't seem right. Seems a little off, given that it doesn't apply. I just think that I think that it would be a good positive change for this game if they allowed people to just, if they've collected the appearance of an item, to use it regardless of the class. In terms of, I'm not saying transmog it on every class, so a cloth wearer can't wear like a plate set, that would be dumb. But say you've collected an appearance, then you should be able to equip it for whatever it is that you're using, and you should be able to, you should be able to do that. Or just a second. Kirin Torset Battle Mage. Oh yeah, the Kirin Torset was awesome. I love that. I'm just going to end the YouTube video and then we're going to resume real quick. Just a second.